What's happening, WWE Universe? Welcome to Faces and Heels, your podcast for professional wrestling here on the KB Radio Network. I am your host, Kevin Reed, and this is the recap and reaction to Night of Champions, which came to us on Saturday, June the 27th at 12 my time, Central Time here in the United States, 12 noon. And so it pretty much took up my entire Saturday afternoon, but it's all good. In case you don't know, in case you didn't hear or listen to my previous episode where I said I was done with the WWE. And in case you did hear, you're probably wondering, well, why is he doing another recap? Well, if you truly listen to the show, I said I was going to give it one more show. I had promised that I was going to recap Night of Champions, and I'm a man of my word. And so I'm here to recap Night of Champions. Now, with that being said, unless something drastic changes in the next, I don't know, between now and the next premium live event, this will probably be the last show that I recap and react to. I've reached my point. I'm done. I'm truly done. Now, having said that, this was a fairly decent show. If there was a show to make me change my mind, this would have been the show to do it, because this actually was an exciting show. This was a thumbs up show in recent memory from WWE. But it wasn't enough to pull me back in, unfortunately, to be a avid viewer like I was before. I'm still going to watch casually, just as a fan. I'm still a fan of many of the performers in WWE, so I'm not abandoning them. But as far as being dedicated to watch every show and watch every PLE and give you my recaps and reactions, I just don't have the energy. I don't have the excitement that I used to have going into these shows. And so in order to give you the best show that I can give, I'd rather just walk away. I'm just that dedicated and respectful of your time. Because you take time out of your schedule to listen to me rattle on about wrestling, or if you listen to other shows here on the KB Radio Network, whether it's movie reviews or whatever, I know that I'm taking up your time. So I respect that every time that I sit behind this microphone. And so I don't want to give you poor quality. And I felt like I was giving you poor quality because my heart just wasn't in it. Now, today is different. Oddly enough, I'm actually happy to review this show because I actually enjoyed Night of Champions this year. We got 6 matches. I mean, Triple H was in his bag today. Normally we get 5, but we got 6 today. Maybe because we was in Riyadh. I guess that's why he upped the ante for this PLE. But we got 6 matches in total. We got the King and Queen of the Ring finals. For the King of the Ring final, you got Oba Femi versus Jey Uso. And in the women's, or I should say Queen of the Ring, I was about to say women's King of the Ring. But in the Queen of the Ring final, you have Iyo Sky versus Liv Morgan. We got a steel cage match between Braun Breaker and Seth Rollins, a singles match for the WWE United States Championship, Trick Williams versus Ricky Saints. The women's United States Championship was on the line as well, with Tiffany Stratton versus Jade Cargill. And in the main event, we got a triple threat match for the Undisputed WWE Championship between Cody Rhodes, Sami Zayn, and Gunther. And so, pretty stacked card, pretty decent card here. That's part of the reason I was like, no, I'm not gonna not review this one because this one this one looks on paper, it looked like it was going to be pretty good. And so I made sure to sit down and watch it, and I'm happy that I did. Let's start off at the beginning. The first two matches, as WWE has adapted now since they moved over to ESPN Plus or Premium or whatever they call their streaming service over there. They have the first two matches on ESPN regular, just for everybody to watch, and then you have to be a part of the premium package to see the rest of the card. So on ESPN, you got the finals for the King of the Ring and Queen of the Ring. We began with the King of the Ring. That was the opening match of the night. Oba Femi and Jey Uso. Jey Uso comes out first, of course, does the yeeting, and the crowd goes wild, which is basically why he was in this match. There was no reason why Jey Uso should have been a part of this match. He shouldn't have been. It should have been Oba Femi and Javon Evans in the finals. My humble opinion. I don't. It's not that I don't like Jey Uso. I actually enjoy Jey Uso for what he is. But do I think Jey Uso is a main event guy, a champion caliber outside of maybe a mid card? He's a mid carder. You know, I'm bouncing around it. He's a mid carder in my eyes. I don't see him as a main guy. But for some strange reason, for the last few years, they have strapped the rocket to his back, and he hasn't been that interesting. I mean, he won the belt off of Gunther at WrestleMania, a couple of years ago, and it was boring, man. I'm just not excited about a Jey Uso championship run. We've tried it, we did it, didn't too much work out. We don't need to see it again. I think we've milked that cow dry. But whatever. You taking him and putting him in the ring with Oba Femi, who is he is a freight train. You're not. There's nothing you can do to stop the momentum of Oba Femi. Oba Femi is not the next big thing. You hear that a lot. Oba Femi is the big thing. He is the guy. Point blank, period. There's no other way to frame it. The guy has it. He's had it since NXT. When he first debuted in NXT, from the opening match, his first appearance, it's just something was there that I was like, he's the guy. And he took that ball and strutted up the ladder, man. And he is in his rightful place here on the card. I don't see nothing stopping Oba Femi other than Oba Femi. And so we get into this match, and the match was what it was. But the only negative I have about this match, they gave Jey Uso too much offense. Now, I get it. You still want Jey to look strong. You don't want him to look like he gets squashed by Oba Femi. But Oba Femi, he squashes everybody. That's inevitable. You can't stop that. It is what it is. But they had Jey Uso get in more offense on Oba Femi than Brock Lesnar did. Make that make sense. I'm sitting there like, what? So they really going to try to convince me that Jey Uso has a chance in hell to beat Oba Femi here. And it came close a few times. And I almost clicked it. If Jey Uso would have won, I would have went back on my word for the first time ever. I would not have reviewed this show because I wouldn't have watched it. I was going to click it. Because that is dumb. That would have been the dumbest decision ever. But cooler heads prevailed. Common sense came into the play, and Oba Femi defeated Jey Uso to become the 2026 King of the Ring. I didn't mention going in case you don't know, if you win King of the Ring and Queen of the Ring, you get the opportunity at SummerSlam to challenge for the championship of your choosing. And so Oba Femi has a choice to make. Will it be Roman Reigns or will it be Cody Rhodes asterisk? So we'll see. We'll see what decision he makes, I guess, on Raw or, well, it's what, 5 weeks away from SummerSlam? So we'll see. He has time to mold this over, but I think everybody knows where this is heading. Even though I will say this, I was fully anticipating the rubber match between Brock and Oba, being as though it's SummerSlam, being as though Brock is from Minnesota where SummerSlam is taking place. He can properly retire or whatever. I thought that was penciled in, maybe even chiseled in stone, that match was going to take place, the third match, the blow-off match between these two. But if Oba's going after a championship, I think that's off the table. So what does Brock do? This just goes all the way back to, why did you bring Brock back for that one match? So he can get his win back over Oba. He went out perfectly at WrestleMania. That was the perfect handoff. And they sullied it. It was just a dumb decision. One of the reasons why I feel the way I feel. But nonetheless, Oba Femi is your king of the ring. And so we move over to our second match of the evening, and it is for the queen of the ring. This is the finals between Iyo Sky and the women's world champion, Liv Morgan. I thought this was interesting to put Liv Morgan in this tournament. And so giving her the opportunity to be two belts Liv, going after Rhea at SummerSlam, because they have a built-in rivalry that's lasted a while. So that would have been that sounds interesting, something to put on the marquee, draw up some interest, even though we've seen that match numerous times. But I would have been on board for something like that, to see Liv with two belts. But Iyo Sky said, "Wait, hold up, I'm still here," and so the two have a match or have this match, and it's Iyo Sky. Iyo Sky, in my humble opinion, is the best wrestler in the world right now. Not female wrestler. Listen to me closely. The best wrestler in the ring, the best performer. And let me put it like that. Wrestling, performing, two different things. The best performer performing in a pro wrestling ring. She will give her soul in every match that she's in. And it looks effortless. It looks like she's not even trying. That's how good she is. She's that good. Just imagine if she spoke perfect English. It's nothing. She would have been an unstoppable force, But that's what's holding her back. The language barrier there. But she still manages, and nobody cares. She doesn't have to talk. You know what I'm saying? She's that good in the ring. She can get in the ring with anybody, and that match will look good. That match she had with Jay Cargill, I think, was that ever? No, that wasn't ever. I'm sorry. That was oh my God, I can't remember where they had their match. But anyway, it was a good match. And what made it so good was her, because we all know Jade ain't there, but she brought it there for Jade. She's phenomenal. She's phenomenal. She has that rare ability to make not only herself look phenomenal between the ropes, but her opponent as well. But that's not to say that Liv Morgan hasn't come a long way, and she's come a long way. Liv Morgan is right where she deserves to be as the world champion. Liv Morgan, when she first started out with what was it, the Riot Squad or whatever it was, she was eh. You know what I'm saying? She wasn't a champ. Nobody envisioned Liv Morgan as a champion in no sense of the word. But now, uh, for the past couple of years here, she is one of the top women in this company, if not the industry. I'll give her that much. You know, in front of the camera, in the ropes, cutting a promo. She got it all. She does it all, and I'm happy for her because I always was a fan of her, even though I could clearly acknowledge that she wasn't ready back then. But I was a fan of her, and I'm glad that she has reached this point in her career and give matches like this. This was a great match between these two. Didn't shock me in the least bit. Never knew who was going to win. The storytelling was there. Everything that you needed out of this match, you got. You got it in spades. And it was a back and forth of epic proportions. But ultimately, in the end, Iyo Sky comes out on top to become the queen of the ring for 2026. And she didn't have to wait. She didn't wait to declare who she was going after. Even though if you had just a lick of sense, you know who she was going to pick. Being as though Rhea has the belt over on SmackDown, she wasn't going to challenge Rhea. They're friends. So you had the only other option. So she didn't wait. And she chose Liv Morgan yet again. And they will challenge for the Women's World Championship at SummerSlam. Yes, we're going to run this match back again. I'm not saying that I'm not excited for that or not, but we just saw that match, and I felt this match was pretty doggone good. And I don't think you can do any better than this. So that tells me the SummerSlam match is going to be some shenanigans. Something's going to happen to whereas Liv is going to win. Liv is going to come out victorious at SummerSlam. But that's my thoughts. I don't know what else they could do. Don't get me wrong. It wasn't like this was a 5-star match. Yes, they could improve on this match, but this was a really good match. It was close to it. It was probably a 4. But I don't know. Liv would have to win, in my humble opinion, in that match. She'll have to win. But we'll see. We'll see at SummerSlam. But as for now, at Night of Champions, Iyo Sky is your 2026 Queen of the Ring. And so we go into the cage match. Now we're off ESPN. Now we have transitioned into ESPN Premium or whatever. And the cage match between Braun Breaker and Seth Rollins. This match has been in the making for, I would say, this was well before WrestleMania, you know, with the Vision and the Vision turning on Seth and Seth being injured. Initially, this match was supposed to take place at WrestleMania. And so Seth Rollins, he gets healed up, hurries back and gets ready for the WrestleMania match, and Braun Breaker gets hurt. He gets injured, so he can't wrestle at WrestleMania, even though he got cleared just a week before WrestleMania, but it was too many wheels turning up to that point. And so the match didn't happen. We got one at Backlash. Braun Breaker came out on top. Of course, there was some shenanigans with that. And so we finally get a blow-off match here, a cage match between these two. And Seth Rollins, one of the best performers in the ring as well. Just a pro, you know, going to give it his all no matter what. Braun Breaker is the next best big thing. Let's see if he can handle this type of match. Hopefully no shenanigans, no Vision, you know, just him and Seth in his cage. And boy, what a pleasant surprise. It was just them in that cage. And we got everything you can offer. We got carnage. We got storytelling. We got blood. We got suplexes all from the top of the cage on through a table. We got spears through a table. We got stomps, super stomp. It was everything that I was praying this match would be, and it was exactly that. This was easily, spoiler alert, easily my favorite match on the card. And we see Seth Rollins defeat Braun Breaker to put the vision behind him. Hopefully. Hopefully the vision is behind him. He can move forward and challenge for the World Heavyweight Championship. Him and Roman Reigns. We finally get that match. I don't know when. I don't know how. But that will be interesting because I'm assuming Oba is going after Roman at SummerSlam. That's my assumption, judging by how this PLE ended. That's the only other option. But we'll see what's next for Seth. But what's next for Braun Breaker as well? He's another one. Is he going to get into the title picture? Well, he needs to be. To put it frankly, he needs to be in the title picture, and that means that this Vision versus Seth Rollins thing isn't over, because if they're both going after Roman, that tells me that they're both going to be fighting each other, and as well as Logan Paul, and when Bronson Reed returns, and all this other stuff, Paul Heyman getting involved. It is a lot there. There's a lot going on. It's a mess, but we'll see going forward. But for now, at least Seth Rollins has this under his belt. He defeats Braun Breaker in this steel cage match. We move on to the WWE United States Championship match between Trick Williams, baby, accompanied by Little Yachty, versus Ricky Saints. I don't know. Well, let me say this. The next two matches, they could have kept these on SmackDown, to be honest. They could have. These were SmackDown matches through and through. This one here, I and I like both of these guys. Well, all three if you want to count Little Yachty. I like these guys. I see the future there, but not now. I don't see. At least this match was. I've seen Trick Williams have good matches. I've seen Ricky Saints have great matches. This was not good. This was not a good match. I was bored the entire time. It was just silly, uncoordinated. I really think, because first and foremost, congratulations to Trick Williams and Lash Legend. They got married last week. Congratulations to them. But I think he was distracted or something. That was a lot, because they got married in Jamaica. He flew all the way over there to Saudi Arabia, 5-6 days later. There's a lot going on, and they probably honeymooned a bit, I would assume, after. And so there's a lot going on there. Ricky Saints, he's still a little green, even though he's a veteran. You know, he was in AEW as Ricky Starks. You know, he's gotten around. It ain't like he just got out of the Performance Center or anything like that. But as far as WWE veteran, no, he's green. And you can make that same argument for Trick. You know, they're still green. And I think the stage was maybe a tad bit too big. The lights were just a little too bright. And it didn't really get there. Now, in Trick's, the troubling part about Trick, he was at WrestleMania. He just had a match against Sami Zayn at WrestleMania. The lights don't get no brighter than that, and he performed better in my humble opinion. But that was with Sami Zayn. Now you're in the ring with Ricky Saints, and it was no chemistry there. There was zero chemistry between these two. I see that they were trying to make the best out of the situation. I can honestly say they were trying. It looked like they had something planned out in their heads, and it just didn't quite get there. I don't know. I don't know what the issue is. And all I can think about whenever I see one, first and foremost, these two guys at a PLE, and when I see the United States Championship defended on a PLE, I keep asking myself the same question. What is going on with Carmelo Hayes? Can somebody please explain to me why Carmelo Hayes has yet to get on a PLE? I have yet to see him on a PLE. It's mind-boggling, and he's been on the main roster. Ricky Saints, he just got there. Trick just got there, kinda. At one point, Trick was the underling, the sidekick of Carmelo Hayes. There's built-in storyline there. Why hasn't that feud been reunited from NXT? What? Why has not? It's frustrating. You see why I made the decision I made. It is frustrating. They push not necessarily the wrong people, because I'm all for Trick getting pushed. I'm all for Ricky Saints getting pushed. What is going on with Carmelo? Is it something behind the scenes? Is it? I don't know. I just don't understand it, and it's frustrating to me because Carmelo Hayes is super talented. You're wasting away valuable years from this young man. Carmelo Hayes should be by now. Out of all the time he's been on the main roster, he should be challenging for a championship. I'm not saying he should be the champion. Don't get it misconstrued. I'm just saying he should be a main event player at this point, or at the very least dominating the mid card on SmackDown. The reason I went on this whole rant about Carmelo Hayes is more talented than Trick Williams and Ricky Saints melded together. This match was not good. And you put Little Yachty in the mix, which is a cool addition. Don't get me wrong. I like that. But you got him active in the ring after the match. It was just, didn't like it. But it's all good. Trick Williams retains the United States Championship. Little Yachty, he dropped the worst people's elbow on God's green earth. And that's saying a lot because the people's elbow is a horrible move to begin with. But if you wanna make it look bad, watch this Little Yachty people's elbow. Completely embarrassed. I was embarrassed for him. But we move on to another United States Championship. This time, the women's. We have Tiffany Stratton putting that belt on the line against Jade Cargill. And this match, hey, I will say this. I was shocked. I was so shocked, I'm willing to tell you that this match was better than the Trick Williams-Ricky Saints match. And we're talking about Tiffany Stratton and Jade Cargill, the two botchiest wrestlers on anybody's roster. But they managed to put a better match together than Trick Williams and Ricky Saints. With all that being said, this still could have played out on SmackDown. This was not a PLE level match. They tried to build it up with the rematch aspect of it all because Jade Cargill defeated Tiffany Stratton for, at the time, the WWE Women's Championship. And Tiffany went out for a little while, and now she's back. Now she's the United States champion, and blah, 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 blah. All right, cool. But this didn't have to be on the PLE. Let me say, I was going to wait to the end, but let me just say it now while it's fresh on my mind. This is what infuriates me with WWE and why I'm just done with them, is the fact that these are the matches you put on the card, right? But when you had the belt on Julia and you was in Italy, did she have the belt at that time? It didn't matter, but you still didn't put her on the card. When she had the belt, you didn't put her on the card. When Chelsea Green had the belt and she was over, you didn't put her on a card. I don't understand the way of thinking from the creative at WWE, because a lot of blame goes on to Triple H, and I think it's unwarranted. Now, he deserves blame because he's the head honcho. He's the know all be all, or whatever you want to call him. But I don't think he comes up with the storylines and this, that, and the third. You know, he has a team. There's a team there, and the whole creative team sucks. They don't know what they're doing. They really don't. Let's take this match, for instance. The match was pretty good. Was it botched? Yes. It still had its botches with these two. That was inevitable. We knew that was going to happen. These are the queens of botches. So, yes, it had its botches. But you take all that took place after. You had Meechin and B-Fab run in. You had Chelsea Green and Charlotte Flair interfere. You had all these elements for a women's United States Championship match. That, what are you setting up? What's the setup here? Is it, well, we could clearly see the Charlotte Flair Jade Cargill thing. They've been setting that up for God knows how long, since Jade got to WWE, which would be a cool match. Who doesn't want to see that? But using the women's United States Championship to spearhead that's the part that don't make any sense. B-Fab and Meechin, what's their purpose? And then Chelsea Green, what's her purpose? Because she's not going back after the United States Championship because she's teaming up with Tiffany. Unless she's going to backstab her. But I don't see that happening. And to be honest with you, that's probably the perfect pairing for them, now that you think about it. Because Tiffany needs that. And because Chelsea Green is so great at what she do, she's going to catapult Tiffany. She's going to help Tiffany. And I'm talking about, promos and her charisma. All that's it's going to help her. And so I don't understand all this that's going on. And that's just in this little bubble, because you still got Alexa Bliss. You still got all these other elements that's connected to this women's United States Championship. And while all that's going on, you got the WWE Women's Championship where nothing is happening. Where's the women challenging for that? Where's the brouhaha for that? You placed your energy around this. Now, don't get me wrong. Yes, you need challengers for this title. Yes, but you also need challengers for the women's championship. It's like they can only focus on one thing at a time, one championship at a time, with all of these elements. And I feel that this would be better place, at least this story that they try to tell, better place circled around the WWE Women's Championship. But that's just my opinion. That obviously I don't know what I'm talking about, because I keep getting disappointed week in and week out to the point where I'm turning my back on. So what I know, but obviously millions love it because everybody's still there. And I'm still here. I'm just not doing the shows anymore. But that's neither here nor there. But Tiffany Stratton, she retains her WWE Women's United States Championship after multiple interferences from Chelsea Green, Charlotte Flair, B-Fab, Meechin, Partridge in the Pear Tree. Everybody got involved with this, but Tiffany is still Tiffy time on our clocks. And so we move over to the main event of the evening, and it is for the Undisputed WWE Championship. A triple threater, man, between Cody Rhodes, Sami Zayn, and Gunther. And let me just say, this is how you do a triple threat match. This is precisely how you execute a triple threat match. I've grown to hate triple threat matches, and it used to be one of my favorite stipulations. I used to love triple threat matches because you never know what's going to happen. But, you know, over the course of time, it kind of diluted itself, and it became just a caricature of itself. And I just stopped enjoying them because you can predict it a mile away who was going to come out victorious, and you know who's going to get involved, the little extras and all this other stuff. This is how you do it, and it shouldn't be a shock because you have three of the most professional of professional wrestlers in the same match. Cody, the ultimate professional, born into this. Gunther, probably the best professional wrestler out there. Sami Zayn, seasoned vet, been through it all, went through it all, has been through every type of match you could think of. These guys know what to do. These guys know how to work together and work the crowd and work over everybody. Man, this was phenomenal. Phenomenal match between these three. In case you was living under a rock, you're in Saudi Arabia, you got Sami Zayn challenging for the title. I knew, well, I didn't know, but I suspected that Sami was going to win going into it. But I didn't think they had the guts to do it. I'm going to be honest. Didn't think they had the guts to do it. I'm like, but they love Cody. They love Cody in WWE. I'm so tired of Cody. When the match started, and well, before it started, during the entrance, and everybody came out, and then Cody was coming out, and I'm looking at him coming up the ramp, and I'm like, I'm so sick of him with the and I like Cody Rhodes, but I was like, I'm so sick of him with this belt. I'm tired of Cody Rhodes with the belt. I enjoyed him more in the chase. And a lot of performers I enjoyed much better chasing rather than getting it because the story is more interesting when you're chasing the belt as opposed to when you get the belt. Because when you get the belt, all right, now you're the heaviest the head that wears the crown mode, you know? So that plays out really, really quick. That plays out quick, and it played out quick with Cody. Yeah, so I've been waiting for somebody to come along and just take that belt off of him. Give Cody a break. Give him a break. But I know he makes a lot of money for the company. That's why he's up on top. But that's neither here nor there. You go to Gunther now. Gunther has been screwed over, and I understand that element of it. You don't want to put the scrap on him too soon over there. You know, he was the heavyweight champion on Raw. That went away. To be honest with you, when Gunther tapped to Jey Uso at WrestleMania, that took all of the allure away from Gunther, from me. Yeah, now, since then, he's done some monumental stuff. He retired Goldberg, he retired AJ Styles, and he retired John Cena. So it's not like he's been sitting around doing nothing. But as far as going after a title, no. You know, now you move him over to SmackDown, the only logical thing to do is to go. He's not going to go after the United States Championship for what? Who wants to see that? Who wants to see Gunther beat Trick Williams for the championship? That's a waste of time. And honestly, there's nothing else for him to do other than go after the undisputed WWE Championship. And so, stringing him along, screwing him over, and getting in the middle of putting others in the middle of his quest to become the champion is a smart play. And so I've liked what they've done with Gunther. Now, inserting Sami Zayn, I didn't understand it at first. and I didn't like it. To be honest, still didn't. When the match started, I still was like, well, I don't get this Sami thing, but whatever. So that went away real quick. We get into the match. As I said before, these three guys are awesome in one-on-one matches. They were even better here. You know, they used it right. They used the throwing one opponent out the ring. We get our one-on-one matches throughout the match. Perfectly done. The third party comes in, interrupts at the perfect time. The storytelling was perfectly done in this match. And moments through this match, I can honestly say all three men had me thinking they were going to win. There was a point when I thought Gunther was finally going to get it. I thought Cody was going to retain, and I thought Sami had it in the bag. It was all there multiple times from all three of them. You know, it wasn't just a one-off type deal. And the way this match ended, it couldn't have ended no other way with a roll-up. we got table spots. We got all type of false finishes. Everybody's finisher being performed, and chokeholds being performed. All that was going on, and it took a roll-up for Sami Zayn to become your new undisputed WWE champion. I got emotional. I'm not going to lie. The moment got to me. Because I've been watching Sami from when he first got to NXT, when NXT first was a thing, and he was wearing that mask, you know, and the feud between him and Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins over there, and then when it came up to the main roster and all this here, and we know what he did on the main roster, challenging for the belt. This was his 10th attempt at the WWE Championship, and he finally got it in Saudi Arabia. And I thought they were really going to wait till WrestleMania, but it made sense to do it here because it didn't matter. Either way it went, that's fine, because Saudi Arabia, I'm going to tell you like this. I don't know what the future holds. I don't know if I'm going to watch the WrestleMania of next year, but not because it's in Saudi Arabia, nothing like that. I just don't know. Well, but if it's anything like the crowd was for this show, WrestleMania is going to suck. It was zero energy from that crowd. Other than Sami and when Oba came out and when they were yeeting, you know, occasionally they'll get excited or whatever, but it's not that same energy. And I don't think that energy is going to be there for WrestleMania. It's going to be whack. Now, it's up to the performers to give you that energy, but I don't see it happening. I just don't see. It was zero excitement in Saudi Arabia, but that's neither here nor there. It was excitement when Sami won. And what got me emotional, though, is when he got emotional. Because you got to realize, man, he's been told his entire career, you'll never be the guy. You'll be a mid-carder. You're not going to, this is your peak. You know, you can challenge for it, but you're not going to win. You're going to get there, but just not going to win. And it was moments in this match where I was like, man, why are they doing this to him? With the near fall, you know, I'm like, why are they doing this to him? Letting him get this close and not win it. And my God, bro, when he pinned Cody Rhodes, now, this what made it so great. He didn't pin Gunther. He pinned Cody, the champion. He pinned the champion, and there was no shenanigans. There was no outside interference. The ref missing something or whatever. No, this was as clean can get, and he is legitimately the undisputed WWE champion. I'm happy. I am super happy with the way this all ended. So just to recap, our first match, the King of the Rings final we have Oba Femi defeating Jey Uso to become the king of the ring. He will challenge for a championship of his choosing at SummerSlam. This match went 7 minutes, close to 8 minutes long. I think it was 7:55. For the Queen of the Ring tournament, our Queen of the Ring is Iyo Sky, who defeated Liv Morgan. She will challenge for the World Championship at SummerSlam against Liv Morgan. This match went for 15 minutes, and we had our third match on the card. It was a steel cage match between Braun Breaker and Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins defeats Braun Breaker in a just absolute carnage match. Real good match. It went 19 minutes. We had a singles match for the WWE United States Championship. Trick Williams defeats Ricky Saints to retain that WWE United States Championship. That match went for 10 minutes and 50 seconds, and it was 10 minutes too long. The women's United States Championship match between Tiffany Stratton, who retains her championship, against Jade Cargill. That match went for 7 minutes and 35 seconds. And then in the main event, a triple threat match for the Undisputed Championship, or WWE Championship, I should say, where we get a brand new champion in Sami Zayn, who defeated Cody Rhodes and Gunther. This match went for 18 minutes and 45 seconds. Yeah, real good card. I thought this was a good PLE, decent. Even the two matches that I felt were SmackDown quality matches, they were what they were, but I would have enjoyed something more. I they could have put any other match on there, to be honest with you, and I would have enjoyed it better than that. But overall opinion of the show, I think it was pretty doggone good. Yes, everybody, this will probably be it for me, unless something changes. And if it does, I will hop back on and do another show to explain that reasoning. But as for right now, I think we're going to I'm going to untie my boots and leave them in the middle of the ring for faces and heels. I just can't do it. It's just too much, man. It's too stressful to watch this show. It's just bad storytelling and bad management all around. I just, it's sad to say. It's sad to say. And in no way am I advocating for him to come back, but I miss the days Vince McMahon was in charge. And Vince McMahon was not perfect by no stretch of the imagination. But I enjoyed the show. I was entertained. I was very entertained. I'm not entertained anymore. It has become such a corporate entity under TKO, man. It's like advertising. The doggone ring is full of advertising. You got people who buy spots in the ring. They got their names on the ring. You notice that? It's just, you can buy a piece of the ring to put your name on. Come on, man. It's just too much. It didn't got too out the box for me. I guess I'm a purist. I like old school wrestling, just storytelling, kayfabe, all that good stuff. And that's not there anymore. But it was a fun ride. I'm still going to watch it occasionally, like I said, casually. Whenever it's on, I'll probably watch it if nothing else is on. I used to mark my calendars. Don't bother me Monday nights. Don't bother me Friday nights. Don't bother me during the PLE. Now, I'm open. I'm free. What you want to do? Yeah, those days are officially done. But that's just me. If you still enjoy this, keep watching it. I'm happy somebody's getting something out of this. I really am. I'm envious of you. I'm glad that somebody is enjoying this. And if you enjoyed this show, you can let me know. You can holler at me at our website, thekbradionetwork.com. Also on social media, just search for the KB Radio Network. Also, YouTube. Subscribe to the KB Radio Network channel and like this video if you don't mind. Don't forget about the 5 stars, the reviews, and sharing this show. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, wherever you are currently listening to Faces and Heels here on the KB Radio Network. As always, we have not just Faces and Heels here. You into movies? I do movies. We do movie reviews, and we do pop culture talk and current event talks. We do all type of stuff here other than pro wrestling. This isn't the only gig here. And so if you don't have to just abandon me. I'm still here. Just not for Faces and Heels right now. Who knows? I'll still keep it on the back burner. Something may draw me back in. We'll wait and see. But everybody, thank you for listening. Thank you for all you who have supported throughout all this time, listening to my recaps of these PLEs and talking professional wrestling. It's been a blast, man, for the most part. It hasn't been all doom and gloom. It's really been a blast. Today was a blast. You know, like I said, I miss this. I miss feeling good about a show. So it's not the end of the world, but we'll see going forward. I'm not gonna bury it. We just gonna tuck it to the side. But until the next time, y'all be good.